नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ध्यानश्लोका शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। Today is the 22nd verse of Vishnu Sahasranama. Thanks to this exercise which I am doing, I am able to spend some time and try to recapitulate whatever material was with me on this verse, and in the process, whatever thoughts are uppermost in the mind, I am just recording and uploading for whatever it is worth. अमृत्युः सर्वदृक्सिंहः सन्धाता सन्धिमान् स्थिरः अजो दुर्मर्षणः शास्ता विश्रुतात्मा सुरारिः। अमृत्युः सर्वदृक्सिंहः सन्धाता सन्धिमान् स्थिरः अजो दुर्मर्षणः शास्ता विश्रुतात्मा सुरारिः. There are 11 names in this verse. Amrityuhu, Sarvadruk, Simhaha, Sandhata, Sandhiman, Stiraha, Ajaha, Durmarshanaha, Shasta, Vishrutatma, Surariha. Let us see each name one by one. Amrityuhu, free from death. That is one who has no death. Birth, growth, death, birth, growth, decay, disease, and death. These are the 5 great modifications to which every living being is subject. A person who is born has to die. Jatasya hi mruto mrutyuhu, jatasya hi dhruvo mrutyuhu, dhruvam janma mrutasya cha. When we talk of the Supreme Being has no birth. So naturally, there is no death for the Supreme. The waves die, but not the ocean. Mahavishnu is the changeless entity in the changing world which we see around us. Bhagavad Gita makes this emphatic declaration, Vinashyastu avinashyantaha yaha pashyati sapashyati. Here Lord Krishna is telling of a Gnani who is able to see the unchanging in the changing world. He is the one who, in a way, is really seeing. That means he really sees. Pashyati sapashyati. He who changes changeless amidst the changing names and forms, he alone sees the meaning and purpose of life. Such a person, such supreme being, is all-seeing, Sarvadruk. Paramatma is the seer and knower of everything. The supreme consciousness which is residing in each living being and illumines all the motives, enables all the intentions, actions, thoughts, words, and deeds in each individual at all times is necessarily the witness of all. It is seeing everything. It is aware of everything which is happening. This is what we call Jagat Sakshi, Sarvataha Sakshi. There is nothing that escapes his attention. Neither actions, nor words, nor even our innermost thoughts. Any person who is aware of this reality that the Paramatma is always there around us, within us, to see, to understand, to take note of, even our thoughts, will be incapable of doing anything wrong. This is the best way to be on the right path. Simha. Simha actually means destroys. No, destroy is a word we have to understand in the proper perspective. Here, in our Shastras, when we say destroy, destroy means ending of one state and leading to the next state. For example, the state of sleep is the destroyer of the waking and the dream. The state of waking is the destroyer of the dream world. In a simple way, early morning is the destroyer of the night. Night is the destroyer of the day. Winter is the destroyer of summer. Summer destroyer of winter. That's what. In that sense, the Supreme Being is called the annihilator. Annihilator. Simhan. Actually, the word, if you just reverse the letters, it becomes Himsa. Mutual transportation of the letters, it becomes Himsa. What actually the Paramatma does is destroys the animal passions in us. In a way, he is the lion in our bosom, inasmuch as, like a king of the forest, samsara, he is there within us, destroying the negative tendencies in us. In this sense, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna declares, among the animals, he is a lion. Mrugana cha mrugendraha aham. Mruga Indra, king of animals, that is lion. Actually, the entire verse reads like this. प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानां कालः कलयताम् अहं मृगाणां च मृगेन्द्रोऽहं वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणाम्. I am the lion among the beasts, punishing the wrongdoers. Also, unites the doers, unites us, unites our actions with the results of our actions. That way, he is called Sandhata, regulator. He brings together the action and the fruits of the action, correlates the actions with their fruits. He is the regulator who brings these two factors together. That means whatever action I do, the consequence will definitely follow. Good or bad, whatever I do, the results of those good and bad actions will certainly come to me. May not be immediately, may not be in this lifetime, but sometime, at some stage, it will definitely come to me. I cannot escape the consequences of my action. That's why the Paramatma is called the giver of all fruits of action. Sarva karma phala pradata. Sarva karma phala pradata is the Sandhiman. The Sandhiman is never separated from the true devotees, is always with us. The Supreme is a law and also Supreme is the lawgiver. In the individual Jiva, actually, in a way, he himself is the Bhokta. He is a giver, and also, since he is within me as Jiva, he is the enjoyer and he is the sufferer of the results. That's why they say whenever a devotee is troubled, that trouble is taken by the Lord. The Lord takes upon himself your troubles. He is always with you. Apparently, he is conditioned. Not really so. Apparently, he is conditions. He is the unconditioned supreme, living apparently conditioned in, say, a human body. In fact, he is the one presiding and also illumining all our actions of all the people at all the times. He is doing it. How does he do it? Because he does not differentiate between individuals. He has no favorites. That's exactly Lord Krishna says. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 29. Samaha aham sarva bhuteshu. I am the same in all beings. Sarva bhuteshu aham samaha. There is none hateful or dear to me. Name dveshya asti, name priya asti. No deshvaya, na dveshya, na priya asti. There is none hateful to me. There is none dear to me. But there's a clause. But those who worship me with devotion, they are in me, I am also in them. Perfect identity of the Jivatma and the Paramatma. ये भजन्ति तुम मां भक्त्या मयिते तेषु च अपि अहम समः समोहम सर्वभूतेषु. You read the verse continuously. Samo samoha samoham samoham सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम्. Stiraha, constant. He is the one. He is the changeless being in the changing world. One who remains changeless in the changing world. He is obviously without, earlier we said, he is without death, amrityuhu. Now we are saying he is without birth, ajaha. You see, amrityu, ajaha, both are coming in the same verse. Ajaha, unborn. Ajaha is a term which also denotes the creator, Brahma. Chapter 2, verse 20. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजः नित्यः शाश्वतः अयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Arjuna was worried that because of this war, I will have to kill so many people. I will be committing a great sin. Krishna says, understand that you are not an individual. You are the Supreme Paramatma. You are the Atma. Atma has no birth. Atma has no death. It is eternal, permanent, indestructible. So the Atma neither kills nor it is killed. It is unborn, Ajaha. Vishnu is the form of Hiranyagarbha. It creates a delusionary world of plurality. Actually, all that we see around us, plurality is only a Maya. The Supreme Being, such a Supreme Being, appears, becomes unbearable for the evildoers. For a devotees, he is always pleasant. We seek the Paramatma, whereas an evildoer runs away from the Paramatma. Durmarshanaha. He cannot be one who cannot be attacked, one who cannot be defeated or vanquished. But ultimately, in the long run, such evildoers, such persons who are on the unrighteous path, the persons who are doing adharmic activities, even they will have to come to the right path. That is because all human beings, there is animal instinct. The animal, we can call him the animal man. The animal man, the animal instinct, it denies to itself the peace and joy of living, the great spiritual values. It all happens because a, a jiva is deluded by the senses, enchanted by the attractions of the flesh, and maybe he thinks it is best to live a life of full of sensual joy. But the fact is, such joys are very, very temporary. They are temporary fulfillments. Sooner or later, even the deluded ultimately will be forced to come and seek refuge at the golden feet of Mahavishnu, the lotus feet of Mahavishnu. They will have to come and seek real happiness, and only then they will get true achievement. And the Supreme, who upholds the Dharma, guides people on the dharmic path. He does it through in the form of Shastras. He is the guide. He is the Shastra itself, personification of Shastra. We call him Shasta, Shasta or Dena, one who rules over the universe. How does he rule? How does he administer? He has laid down the laws, laws of good conduct, laws which will tell us to follow on the righteous path. Through Shastra, he is able to guide us like a loving mother, a loving father, guiding us, hand holding, instructing us, and guiding us on the righteous path. He does that. And ultimately helps us to reach the Paramapadam, the supreme feet of Mahavishnu. And he is the Vishrutatma. He is a renowned self, supreme self, famous self. Actually, in Vishnu Sahasranama, there are 1,000 names. Many of these names will give an impression as if Paramatma is, it is helping us to do Saguna worship. He is Saguna. He is having a Papraguna, Akara. No, the Saguna and Sakara is only for our convenience. But the Paramatma is Nirguna and Nirakara, nothing but the pure self. Actually, this is the theme, main theme of all scriptures. So once we understand this, and how do we assert that the Paramatma is supreme self, Parama supreme self is Nirakara, Nirguna Parabrahma, you can see, oh, so many, there are declarations, positive declarations of its transcendental nature, going beyond what we all see, universe, etc. And there are also any number of what we call statements of negations, not this, not that, not this, not that. So ultimately we say that that's the Paramatma is the renowned self, Vishrutatma, supreme self. In order to uphold dharma, the supreme acts like destroyer of the devas, Surariha. Sura Ariha. Sura actually means, literally means Deva, God, divinity. Ari is an enemy, opposite of that. Ha, destroy. Surariha is one, is a destroyer of the force of gods. Here we have to understand the term Sura in a slightly liberal sense. It is not a narrow definition of a Deva or a God. Sura is something like a higher mind. The mind, the faith of a devotee, the mind of a devotee, which is trying to aspire to ascend higher and higher. This is the this is sort of a deva. This is a sura. And now anything which is coming in the path, anything which is obstructing it, is like a common enemy. Is like an enemy for a devotee on the path of salvation. What are these enemies? The claims, the sensual claims of the flesh, the mild or strong assertions of the ego, the devil of desire and passion. So these are the internal enemies. These are the enemies of a person trying to proceed on the path of salvation. And we cannot tackle these enemies without invoking the blessings and without having the grace of Narayana. Narayana, who is he is called here surariha. The compassionate Lord drives away and destroys the all inimical negative tendencies standing between us and the Supreme Surariha. So, this is the concluding name in this particular verse. ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः